Hey everybody, Steve here from OpenBOM, and I'm really excited to bring you OpenBOM's change management in the June 2020 release. And this video is an introduction into how change management works, and we're going to go through a little bit of the background and do a demo. This is really exciting. This brings a more advanced PLM functionality right to OpenBOM and is one of the most requested process changes that we've received over this year. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a few slides. Introduction to change management. Change management change management establishes a set of governance and controls around the existing create revision activity. What that means is we have normal save revision activities available. What change management does, it puts a set of controls around it so that we can approve and reject and see the history of changes and all these things. And we'll go through all that in a brief demo here. The result of an approved change request is a revision. We're going to make a revision just as if we had used the save revision command. All revisions are immutable, as always, and finally, change management is available to all users in a company account. Okay, what are the essentials of change management? What do we need to do to get started? Well, we need to enable the change management in the admin panel. We're going to do that. We're going to set up to 3 approvers. The admin always has approval authority. And then we're going to open a BOM, the popular 2-byte BOM here. We're going to create a baseline, create a change, review it, approve it, and then we will go through the process again and then see what it looks like to make a few changes and accept and reject those. So if you want to look at the process more logically, here it is. We start with a bill of materials. All revisions in OpenBOM are saved per BOM level. So while it might be easier, you can create those from multi-level to single level. It might be easier to start in single. Start in single level, make some changes, create a change order, get approval, create the next revision, and put it on in your stack of revisions for that BOM. That is the flow. If you don't get approval, you're going to cycle back and make some more changes. And again, we'll do that in here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get started with a demo. I've pulled this BOM in from SolidWorks for the 3 LED 2-byte, and you've all seen that over the past few weeks. We've been using it for webinars and things. And here's the bill of material for that. And I'm not going to dive into all the things that are here, but this is a typical, well-designed bill of material. And we can see that none of the UI is here for change management, so I need to enable that. In order to do that, I'm going to go to my team admin panel and turn on enabled change management. This is for my company admin panel. And then pick a couple of people that are in my company, and I can pick up to 3. If I pick 4, I'll get a little message here. So pick 3 of those and approve that. Okay, so my company is now has change management enabled. So we'll be able to see that here in just a moment with some additional options that will be in the revisions dialog. Okay, so we're sitting in single level. We're going to create a change request. Now keep in mind this BOM is brand new. I just brought this in. So something that I like to do is just create a baseline. And we'll go through some of the options here in just a moment. Once I create a change request, I have the ability to review it, approve it, or reject it. Well, let's just go ahead and review this. And this is going to have a lot of things in it because this is the baseline for my bill of material. So, okay, we see we've added and modified some properties and added and modified some bits and pieces. So this is what your original baseline will look like. I'm going to go ahead and accept that, and we're going to go on and make a change now, so we can see a little more detail about a specific change. So we see that over here on our change request panel, that shows up as approved. Change request number is automatically assigned. This number starts at 1 and marches forward for your company, incrementing each time. Okay, so let's take a look at this and let's say, hey, look, you know what? This is going to go to, I think I'm going to need 4 of those, and I'm going to switch this. I'm going to switch on this value that we're ready, and this one down here, we're going to say that, hey, those are going to be found in bin number 2. Okay, I made a few changes. I'm kind of getting ready to release here. I'm going to say, let's create another change request, and this is going to be for our proto. Proto 1, still going to be a work in progress. I'm going to go ahead and create that change request. It's going to show up over here in my list of change requests, and let's take a look at that and review it. This will be a little more interesting. You can see that I made 3 changes. On this date, this part number its quantity went from 3 to 4. Also on that one, I changed the value of ready from not set to true. And then finally, for that part number there, that screw, I changed the bin number to bin number 2. Okay, that all looks good. I can approve that from here. Terrific. And we've approved that. So we can return to our BOM, and let's simulate making one more change. So I'm going to pick this cap up here and change this to bin number 1 and change the quantity here on that to 3. Okay, and at this point I could be another member of my team. I'm making all of these changes as my single user here. Let's create one more change that we're going to propose this as our manufacturing release 1, and I'm going to say this is going to be released and create that change. Okay, once again, anyone in my team will see this change request panel. Anyone in my company can review the changes, but only those people that are on that approval list can accept or reject. So here's our final one. We can say we can accept or reject that. If we reject it, it will show up in my panel over here as rejected. So you can see how this might kind of work its way along. Each step of the way of those first 2, when I accepted those, I created revisions. You can see that my baseline and my proto revision are there. The final one, which was rejected, my manufacturing release one, did not generate a revision because it was rejected. So if I was that user, Steve, I could come back here and say, well, you know what, my manager rejected this. It would make silly. It's silly for a tube to have 3 caps. I know that really only needs 2. And we're going to come back here, we're going to run this one more time, and manufacturer release 2, and we'll try it one more time, set that to release, create my change request. My manager comes along, reviews that and says, yeah, you know what, that's what it's supposed to be, accepts that, and we now see that has been approved. And finally, taking a look at our revision levels, we see that our revision is there. So I'm not going to dive into how revisions work. There are plenty of videos on that, but suffice to say that at this moment in time, I could return to any one of these earlier revisions, and I'll do that now if we just watch this cap down here, and if I return to that to some earlier revision, I think we'll see that cap value. Hopefully we'll check. I'm sorry. That cap value was at 1, and we had set it to 2. So there's plenty of videos on how revisions work and how to use those on your team. But to wrap up, what we did here was our team administrator came in here, made some settings in the company administration panel, and enabled it and set up some approvers. Once that was done, we noticed that our change request UI showed up here under revisions, and then finally our change request panel here is populated with the activity as we approve and reject as we move along. So okay, I'm sorry that was 9 minutes. We'll try to do some more advanced videos on this. We'd love to hear your feedback at support@openbom.com, and again, welcome to change management in OpenBOM.